रंगों का देश, धुनों का सागर, परंपरा से सजा इसका हर एक नगर। जहाँ सभ्यता के साथ भावना है जीवित, वही तो है भारत सदा अमृत।
Everyone, welcome back to Gupshup with Gurus, powered by Aakarsh Career Institute. Today, we have our remarkable guest, Mr. Sudhanshu Shekhar Nayak. He is a practitioner of education and a motivational speaker who has been performing and educating students throughout his life. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
My question goes to you in such a way that are you a spiritual person, or what is spirituality to you?
To me, spirituality, a lot of people will probably identify it with religion,
Yes.
idol worship, believing in some kind of religion or some form of God or goddess, whatever you say, be it any religion for that. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm very proud to say that I'm a very spiritual person. Every day morning, I belong to the land of Lord Jagannath. In my house, Lord Jagannath, Masubhadra, Parvatra, Lala, Krishna is there, which we worship every day morning. I do get up every day early and I do puja in the morning. I bow down every day morning. In fact, I have this practice that before I go out of the house, I bow down. Once I come back, I bow down. You might be very surprised, educated, still believe in that. I feel, I don't know in front of whom I'm bowing down, but I feel that I should need to take permission, go out. When I come back, thank that I'm back. To whom I'm grateful, I don't know. It could be again something, cosmos,
Yes.
it is existing, which gives me the power and potential to go safe and come back safe. And in between, I have not done anything ordinary or wrong. That's what the credit I'm giving. I believe in spirituality, but I feel that being in the right spirit, I repeat again, being in the right spirit or being righteous is what spirituality to me is.
So I want to know a bit about you, like what you've done so far, being an educator and a motivational practitioner. Because I have heard a lot about you, like that you have been doing a lot of motivation speaking, where you have inspired a lot of students to aim better, understand their life better. So I would want to know more about you on those things.
Alright. I come from a very humble background. If you just look at my roots, my grandparents were farmers, but they had very high hopes. When I was a small child, after just getting into the school, one day I was just asking my father that why didn't you name myself Sudhanshu? I didn't check. Of course, I take my surname so that I could understand. He said that I have never been to the school. I have been a farmer throughout. I want somebody from my family to reach to that pinnacle, to that success. So it's basically not Shekhar, it is basically Shekhar. So that's what he meant. Then the second question for me, from my side to him was, how did you come to choose a name like Sudhanshu? His answer really surprised me, saying that I also do not know how did I come to know that this name will come. This is not a very common name in the place. But that name of mine and that hope of my grandparents, of course later on that dream of my grandparent was realized by my parents when they took me from my small village to Raukira, where I have been given my education, and then later on I did my graduation also from Government College, Raukira. It's one of the best colleges there. Of course, my parents dream was to, after getting education, get settled there. Because my father was working still working there limited. He wanted me to be part of that. But then always somewhere down the lane, my grandparents' dream and his words were always, knocking at my head. That he wanted me to reach to a pinnacle.
So, from your phrase, I just pointed out this particular thing called as changing names when it comes to current trend or current generation not being happy with the names given by their parents or their grandparents because maybe it's from the older generation, maybe they're not happy with it, maybe they feel that it's outdated. So people have started doing that where they have started changing their names because they don't like it. So why do you think that is necessary? Or maybe it's something psychological that maybe they want to have them pursue in such a way that people are thinking different about themselves.
A magical word here is content.
Okay.
Either you feel contented with everything that you get, or you always are discontented.
Okay.
So I would not blame what they are doing today, how they are looking at it. If you do keep doing that, then probably our great grandparents were different from us, from my father. My father is obviously different from me. I'm different from them. My kids are going to be different from me. The more we search in them ourselves, the more we find ourselves less in them. That same goes to the future generation.
Yeah.
So if anything that you change, try to find out, is there a logic behind it? Is there a rationale behind it? If you're changing for a logic or a rationale which will help you to do better than what you have been given, then you have every right to change. Go ahead and do it. But don't change it for the sake of it. Because of my name, I'm not getting anything. Or some people say, something that you do should have 6 figure. If your name consists of 6 letters, alphabets, then you will be extremely successful. I do not agree to that. That is basically superstition. When people rise pretty high in their life, they try to compete with a lot of mighty people. So then now they're used to being in that prime category of people, where they always try to see that, am I in the top 2, 3 or 4 or 10, or am I down below that? Then it's not a matter of need, it's about a greed.
Yeah.
You're not enjoying what you have got. You're rather cherishing or striving for something you have not got it so far. I would rather say that make more meaning out of the name that you have been given rather than adding something to it and then doing it again. To your question, which is a very pointed one and a good one, I would say that if you want to change your name, first just think, if you give somebody a name, which obviously will happen, suppose you are a daughter of somebody today, tomorrow you will be a mother of somebody. If you have given something to your children and they change it, you like it. Maybe yes, maybe no. You never know. And sometimes we agree to it also. Maybe you don't like it from inside.
Yeah.
Right. Is that one later in my life more important? My parents were giving me this gift when I was not doing anything in this world. Is that more important for me? Again, we go back to the gratitude. The sunlight is very hot, it's falling on my face. I then say, oh wow, such a bright, sunny day. I will wear a spec. I will enjoy it. So one is the way you do not accept the way the nature is. The other way is that you are enjoying the nature with a little bit of modification in your behavior. So you can enjoy the same name. You can do a lot of things in your way, where you can enjoy that I also made changes. Don't change, because I think today what is the scarcity with all of us is the emotional scarcity, the true emotional scarcity, which I call it as bhav. एक ही चीज का अभाव है, वो भाव है. Everything else is plenty. If you go to the mall, you get everything of your choice, which probably was not available to me. We probably had only 2 or 3 shoes. Now you have multiple brands. You can just look, you just turn your face and you just look around. You have The branch which is coming up every single day, new ones are coming. We never had that choice, but we are happy that we have. So ensure that again, what you get, what you give, and what you are going to retain is very clear with you.
So when it comes to spirituality, even for me, I have always been in the same lines of understanding that there is no statue or there is no temple specifically that can make me do a certain deed. I also believe in a higher power, be the universal power where even if I'm praying to something, it's for the better and the good for the people and me, the people around me. I feel that there should be a safe space of where they have something given to a higher power where they know that this thing can be handled by them. As in, if people are in a space where even me, my mom and dad, if they are a very diligent believer in God, when it comes to all the pujas, when it comes to all these things that we practice in Hinduism. So that is where I feel that them being in their space where they have been doing it since a longer generation than I have, I need to respect that regardless of if I'm a hardcore believer or not.
True.
So coming from them when they do these kind of things, I feel peaceful seeing them do it because it's a belief that they follow. And I am no one that can go against it because it's been going on since they have been believing in it. And it's their choice to do it. And so do I. So whenever it comes to their festivals and kind of pujas, I am always there. I like the surrounding of how it calms a person down.
Yes.
Because all these chantings, the way you mentioned that you listen to Premananji for whenever you are moving or whenever you are on the move. So at that time, any of these kind of bhajans or any kind of words that have been put into these songs have been in such a way that it gives peace to a person. It gets into a perspective where you understand that okay, maybe there are some meanings to these words. It's not just simple words just put together like a normal song be in Bollywood or a Hollywood movie. They have been put after a lot of understanding, like chanting Om. Om, a word itself, whenever you chant, it gives you a higher power and energy that can calm you down, can give you a better perspective. Similarly, when it comes to these kind of things that we are doing on the lines of betterment, on the lines of understanding ourselves better, but there is a different world to it when it comes to people having disbeliefs on the lines of practicing not common things. As in India, it might be common, but outside people start questioning that are we into some other world when it comes to doing other kind of pujas, when it comes to havans, when it comes to giving God a lot, the gold, the silver, the all those superficial things, which is materialistic to be precise. So what do you think about that? Because again, when it comes to society, they start questioning that why do people do this? This is waste of money, this is waste of resources, the flowers, the milk, the things that can be given to the poor for a serious betterment. Why is it being given to a statue?
The base of it is the thought process of being giving. Right? So whom do you give that you decide.
Okay.
And I feel that why you should be giving only materialistic things. The best thing, if you ask me right from the time I'm in the school, I always feel that students should not be exchanging any kind of materialistic gifts. Of late, I have been asking them to only bring a sapling. If you come to my office anytime, all the students will take whatever they give, if it is beautiful, and I keep it in my office and just put it in the garden. Mostly I encourage them to give a tulsi sapling. I don't insist, I don't ask them to bring it to me. The only thing that I'm saying is that if you are comfortable, put that sapling in your house. Nurture it every day. That on your birthday you have put that sapling there. Nurture it for a year. You'll realize how your parents nurture it. So that like this sapling is like you have given it birth today. And now can you take care of it for a year? The similar way. I would not say you have set up a statue. For somebody it's a statue, for somebody it's an embodiment of something. But being pure and standing there, if you say Lord Jagannath, any Lord, goddess you talk about, there is an essence relevance of that particular place.
Very true.
We have Lingaraj temple. Let's go and see there the kind of prasad that you get it there, the aroma that you have. How does it come? If you say that there is nothing existing there, that is existing. It's not God, it's a faith of people which actually is the most important thing that you should take care of. That is what my understanding is this. You do hard work, you'll ultimately get success, you'll get something very good in your life. But don't do it just for the sake of getting it. That I'll become one day very successful, that's why I'm giving. No, give, you will get it. एक छोटा सा जोक है तो कहीं पे था एक चुटकुला सा था वो बोले कि वो बहुत भगवान पे विश्वास करता था और मंदिर में ही पूजा करता था मैं किसी धर्म को नहीं बोल रहा मंदिर भी नहीं बोलूंगा एक पॉजिटिव प्लेस में वो था वो डूबने वाला था बड़ा बाढ़ आया बहुत विचित्र टाइप का बारिश वजह से आजकल होता है तो डूबने को गया तो पहली बार जब डूबने वाला था तो कोई बंदा बोट से आया उसको रेस्क्यू करने के लिए बोला नहीं मैं तो भगवान पे विश्वास करता हूँ मुझे वही बचाएंगे फिर उन्होंने और एक टीम को भेजा आप भी तो आ जाओ जिद मत करो फिर वो कहे जाएगा आप यहाँ पे नहीं रह पाओ फिर भी मना कर दिया बाद में हेलीकॉप्टर आया उसके बाद रस्सी भी फेंका बोला इसको पकड़ लो आ जाओ नहीं तो डूब जाओ डूब गया और चला गया भगवान के पास पहुंच गया आज फॉर आवर माइथोलॉजी once we have good karma we go to God and we have to give answer for our accountability which we should give accountability because when we work we are reporting to the authority and we give account of this thing and God is what we should. He went there, he was very angry and he said, I am really upset with you because I have been throughout my life, I have not done anything but only worship you. Whatever I did it for you. Why did you do it to me? God's answer was very surprising for him. He said, I came in 3 forms to you. But I am so surprised that you could not see me in them. The same also goes here. God is not only inside what we see, God is actually everywhere.
With all of these being said, when it comes to in such a way that how we perceive people when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to people having their sacred space, understanding that the murti that is in front of me, it's not just a hollow, made with something which is made by the human. In fact, it's some things that holds faith. The way you said rightly, when it comes to all of these temples, they have a different energy within.
Yes.
Why? Because of the generations that have been coming to that place, putting their faith there and understanding how this particular mandir is working. Let's take an example of Jagannath Mandir.
Yes.
It's so beautiful, it's so peaceful, it has a different energy sitting there. When I visited that space, you know that you are in a different space in this entire world.
True.
Sitting in the house, going somewhere else, roaming around, but going to that particular space where you have a different energy built, you have an understanding that there was something here that was always cherished. And you know that, okay, sitting there, standing there, you know the entire devotion of what it is to be, regardless of me being in a believer or not. When it comes to anyone, I would even ask people who do not believe in God, go there and just to understand the energy around it. Because things that happen in that particular temple are not normal. People call it supernatural, people call it alienating, because they cannot understand, because even science cannot prove things that are happening in that temple. So if you could mention something from your end, that what that temple holds, the magical things that happen, the way the prasad is made, the way the flag flies, the way the shadow doesn't fall ever in that temple. So if you could mention some of these so that people can know about how spirituality is not just to the point where things are made by human, but some things have been coming through generations for a reason.
Let me tell you something called drone. Okay. If you look at our mythological system, this same phenomenon, there is a Pushpa Bhagwan. There is a mention. There is a tie. If you look at the mythology, it's not only Indian mythology. In fact, the world after 100 years, the globe they were living, we won't be staying here. Probably in another form will come.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that we experience today. People will ask a question tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it real or is it fake? They might ask.
For sure.
They might ask because there was a time when the nose you're born with, you always used to cherish it. You used to die with that.
Yeah.
But now people don't like their nose. They change it.
Yes.
This is the age. But there are certain things which have existed for ages. Why did they exist? That is something that you have to ask.
Yeah.
You asked about Puri Jagannath Temple in the year 2000, I think 1990s, 2000, there was a huge cyclone that has come.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And I was in JNU. After the cyclone, I went there to Puri, Bhubaneswar. We stayed in Cuttack and we were there for almost a week to give the relief work. The water came at the level of 300 feet. Yeah, you could just check, these are the facts you can. And thousands of the villages were submerged. It came at the height of trees and beyond the trees.
Yes. Yes.
But nothing has happened to the Puri Jagannath Temple. Okay. Even today also if you go, the Singadwar which we thought, there are 4 dwars are there. The Singadwar, the main where from where you enter. If you stand outside the Singadwar, you could hear the noise of the sea.
Yeah.
But you just step inside, you will not hear anything. What is that? People say Hanuman ji, जो पवन पुत्र है, मतलब उनके पिता है, पवन हनुमान कहलाते हैं वो। उन्होंने वहाँ पे खड़े होकर रहते हैं और प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं कि जगन्नाथ जी को डिस्टर्बेंस ना हो, क्योंकि शीशों के पास में वो सोएंगे कैसे? हमेशा ऐसी आवाज आएगा, रात में तो ज्यादा होगा, क्योंकि लोग नहीं है, तो सो नहीं पाते थे, तो निद्रा उनकी पूरी नहीं होती थी। तो इसको कोई बोलेगा नहीं ये फॉल्स है। Even the way the Puri Jagannath that Mahaprasad is prepared, it's prepared with this clay pot, and it's one chula where the multiple things are kept, and the topmost one actually gets cooked first. How is it possible? What is the science behind it? What do the scientists say? Why does it, if the wind blows from one direction, but the flag flies in the other direction? There is no shade, you say. Who is doing this? And just imagine, you as an individual, I as an individual, people don't listen to us. It's very difficult to convince a couple of people. How come so many millions of people have faith in that system? And how can you just question it just like that? Prove it. Go deep dive into it. Don't necessarily you have to believe just because others are believing it. But if you're doubting, then your doubt and your this thing also should have some basis. Outrightly don't reject anything. If it's like somebody saying that, do you think by doing hard work people can be successful? I would say, of course, 100% you'll be successful. अगर जो hard work है वो successful होगा ही. Hard work not necessarily, in your perspective hard work could be different, or in my perspective it could be different. Somebody who goes to exercise, maybe your body habitus and my body habitus will be different, but both of us, if exercise, will gain muscles, but we might gain different muscles, depending on our body types, depending on the food intake that we take. The similar way, when we go for a spiritual system, what is existing, depending on what kind of inheritance that we have, our belief system is also there. Like your parents believe, so you also carry that belief system. And now it is up to you whether you want to give it to your future generation or not.
So, the way you mentioned, it has been coming from ages that we even don't know. It has come through decades when the way we say yugas. कि अलग-अलग युग से हम पार हो गए यहाँ पे आए हैं जहाँ पे हमने पता लगाया कि this is the history that we believe in. These are the things that have been written as scriptures. But there are a lot of things that have not been even written, but still we know through word of mouth.
Yes.
When it comes to mythology, I tell you, I was introduced it through my grandparents because that is how I had my initial days of my childhood, where bedtime stories were about heroes and devas and devis, where when it came to understanding what happened in our history. So then telling me stories about Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all of these things where I got to know about how actually our history is. regardless of it being small stories about how people right now perceive, how kids right now are more into supernatural things when it comes to heroes like Superman, Spider-Man, whereas my childhood became more on the lines of how Devas acted when it came to the world, when it came to situations that they had to take care. So when it comes to these stories, the way we celebrate Diwali, the way we celebrate Dashera, everything has a particular situation that has occurred in the past for which we are celebrating it today. Be Diwali as per this being a special podcast for Diwali itself, how Ramji came back to Ayodhya with Sita, and that is how we celebrated good over evil. Understanding why that has been celebrated is a bigger deal than why are we just like roasting crackers, having unnecessary things being done. That is again out of happiness, that is completely true. But the actual nurturing meaning behind a particular festival that we in our culture are so rooted to, because we have a purpose for every single thing that has been celebrated around the world. So for the part where Diwali has been such a big thing in, so do you think that the way you said, once we do such things, we shouldn't expect anything out of it. But current generation, which I believe that everything is done because they think that everything has a purpose, but has to always come back to us. So अगर भगवान को भी दान देना या फिर किसी के साथ भी कुछ करना, they start expecting a lot. And with that, even when it comes to good over evil, will be celebrating Dashera as well. When it comes to Ravan Dahan, when it comes to the understanding of entire Ramayana, I understood that Ramayana was ended in such a way where Ravan had to give up on his life because he did something wrong.
Yes.
But to be putting spotlight on that part, that he was one of the most intelligent, not even human, like a most intelligent being on this planet Earth, that was kept on a higher position in the society, understanding that regardless of him being an asur. But the part where we, every single time in our festivals, burn him again and again, I got to know recently through reading an article that it was never a practice done from the starting itself. Because Ramji was very disappointed that he had to kill him. Because वो शिव जी के भक्त थे. उनको नहीं चाहिए था कि it had to end in such a way. Because he didn't have any other option, he had to take this step. So I understood that this has been a practice made by human beings. Because we understood that किसी का वध करने से, किसी को जलाने से, किसी का नाश करने से ही हमें एक बिलीफ मिलेगा कि अच्छा ये खत्म हो चुका है. So that is where we cherish good over evil. But this has been a practice since very few decades. Not that has been going since that long time, because at that time people had a very different perspective. We Ramji, उनका भी एक perspective था कि रावण दहन करना is not a thing, because he had the purity in his heart. The way he said, every single person should have that perspective to understand that it's not just us understanding that किसी का नाश करने से ही अच्छा हो सकता है. So taking that perspective in mind and taking these stories, the mythological stories and everything, how much do you think that we should believe and not believe in these things? Because again, you being an educator, every people in this generation asks for proof, because that's how science works. Anything that is not in front of us, we won't believe it. That is how people pursue in this generation. So all these mythological stories where they have so much root in them, we have truths going to different situations, going to different states, going to different temples, places where there are engravings of people. So what do you think that how this is derived and how we should be pursuing this?
As far as mythology is concerned, our festivals, in a year we have 12 months, we have 13 major festivals. So that means every month there is something that we celebrate. I will not call it as festival, I will call it as celebration. That's a Hindu culture, mythology to which we belong, without demeaning anything else. Everything has festival. Christians have Christmas, Prophet Muhammad, we celebrate. Being in a school, we see to it that every cultural background, every community gets their due process. I would say through mythological stories, these practices, by reading, by getting educated, you get perceptions, you get prospects, you get a different perspective in life. So we should not read only one particular thing and get tagged into that particular thought process. Rather, we should widen our thought process. Read a lot of mythological books, at the same time read a lot of scientific books. Read books and also listen to people who have spoken in the past. You have to see both the sides. You cannot just be in one. I do follow Pujya Murari Bapuji, who has been doing Ram Katha for his entire life. In Porbandar, we have Sandeepani Ashram, where Pujya Bhai is there, is worldwide known, Bhagavad Katha. They have very wonderful work. There is ashram which is educating people on Bhagavad Gita. The NEP 2020 on which I have been working, I have gone through in vivid details Bhagavad Gita, how it talks about 21st century skills. We are calling it 21st century skills, but it is mentioned in our Bhagavad Gita. How is it possible? The critical thinking, problem solving. How Lord Krishna was giving advice to Arjuna, and why did they fight that battle? And also you mentioned that Ravan दहन जो भी है इसका वध करना जरूरी नहीं है, ये जरूरी कभी नहीं है, लेकिन इसके थ्रू हमें मैसेज ये मिलता है कि खाली वो रावण दहन नहीं, हमारे अंदर भी रावण है, उसका दहन करना बहुत जरूरी है. The ego, in my terminology I call ego is energy go. So when you have ego, your energy actually, your good energy actually gets wasted. So then we need to be attached to the mythology. Then I think in our mythology there are a lot of things. And Lord Ram was asked to go to the Banvas for Banvas. He was not disappointed at all.
Yeah.
When he was asked by his mother, he said, माँ, मुझे पहले महल का राजा होना था, अभी 14 साल में जंगल का राजा, जंगल में राज करूँगा. Again, it's a perspective, right? How he was receiving things. And just imagine when he has gone out, Bharat was not sitting on the Singhasan. He was keeping his paduka on the Singhasan and he was worshiping it. The kind of culture that we belong. Today, one brother is fighting pitted against another. We have unnecessary competitions. We come out from a system where we used to sit together and eat. Now our plates are different, our cars are different, our mobiles are different, our preferences are different. When we go to a restaurant, we order separately. We go together, we order separately. But that was not the case in our family. One item used to be cooked, everyone used to share. So it's like sharing of not items, it's sharing of families. The culture that we inherit, that our current generation, all of us need to understand, not current generation. Somewhere down the line, I think we are copying a lot of things or following a lot of things without knowing how it is going to help or not help. जिसे बोलते हैं ना, हर किसी चीज को करने से पहले ना उसका परिणाम के बारे में सोचना बहुत जरूरी है. मैं बीमार पड़ूंगा, उसके बाद मेडिसिन खाऊंगा, एक्सरसाइज करूंगा, ये जरूरी नहीं है. उससे पहले मुझे ये चीजें करना चाहिए. Do the right thing right at that moment. I want to be fit. I do not know whether I'll fall sick or not, but I will do this. So once you start enjoying your good habits, good things, you don't need to ask people, follow people, or you do not need anybody to give you प्रवचन to follow. They also will say the same thing. They say अच्छा व्यवहार रखिए, अच्छा विचार रखिए, विचार व्यवहार और आपका आचार जो इस तरह से आप अपने आप को कैरी करते हैं, वही तो सारी चीजें सिखाते हैं. जैसे रमजान का महीना होता है तो कितना प्योरिटी के साथ वो लोग रहते हैं, कितना सेलिब्रेशन होता है, फूड सेलिब्रेशन, the way they dress up, they go for नमाज, वो शहरी में उठते हैं, उनके साथ भी हमने मिलके, जब हम सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी में थे, हम लोग इसीलिए उठते थे कि उनके साथ बैठ के हम मजे से खाना खाते थे। तो इवनिंग में जो लोग रोजा तोड़ते थे, हम जाके वहां पे बैठ जाते थे। उससे हमें अपना रिलीजन से कुछ लूज नहीं करते हैं या किसी को कुछ दे नहीं पाते, उसमें हम खुशियां समेटते हैं। टुगेदर वी सेलिब्रेट। आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ अस आर वन फैमिली, बट इन बिटवीन देयर आर सम थॉट प्रोसेसेस दैट हैव चेंज्ड, दैट हैज पोर्ट्रेड। एक होता है किसी किताब में किसी ने कोई और चीज से लिख दिया, तो उसकी तरफ से हम अपने आगे बढ़ चुके हैं। So we go with a single turned window and a very narrow-minded perspective go, and we try to prove it right. Where do you belong? It doesn't matter, but what you do matters the most. You might be sitting in a 7-star hotel, might be having the best of the things with you, but your thought process and the way you think is not good. You'll end up doing something very ordinary. But if you are in a proper place, होता है लॉर्ड शिवा कैलाश पर्वत में बैठे थे और but एक छोटे से जगह पे बैठे हुए थे, but their thought process were designed by these people with whom they were surrounded. They had very huge, goal in their mind. Somebody is aspiring to get closer to God. Is it bad or good? I would say it's good. Good thing is always good. Somebody wants to keep their parents very happy. When I was moving to Delhi, there are some of my parents' friends who said that, why did you send him so far? If your child stays next to you and he doesn't obey you, disrespect you, what is the need of him staying with you? Rather he goes away, but he calls you, takes care of you, he nurtures all your value systems. That is a much more respect. Then he stays next to you and he abuses you every day. It doesn't make any sense to me. Rather, in that same way, our systems, our culture is so huge and so meaningful. The more we believe in it, the more it pays to us. The more we disbelieve in that, the more we question it. Question is not bad. Question on the right way, against people, first example. All through I have been saying that let us live somebody's life this Diwali. Let us bring life. Diwali is such a wonderful festival. और उसका हम खाली लाइफ के लिए सेलिब्रेशन नहीं करते, हम लक्ष्मी के लिए भी करते हैं। बहुत सारे लोगों का कोर बिलीफ है कि दीपावली के दिन मेरे घर पे भी बहुत सारे प्रोसेसेस होते हैं। And then my wife was telling me that this Diwali she is going to do it. We never do any cracker. We lit up the place. दिया लगाते हैं। इनफैक्ट दिया लगाने से क्या होता है, दीपावली के टाइम पे अगर आप हिंदू माइथोलॉजी पे जाएंगे, ये लिटअप करने से जो इंसेक्ट्स होते हैं, जो कि बरसात के जस्ट बाद ही शुरू हो रहा है। देखो कितना साइंटिफिक है। साइंस तो हम भूल ही जाते हैं, अंधविश्वास पे चले जाते हैं, लेकिन उसके पीछे साइंस है। कार्तिक का महीना क्यों होता है, उसमें क्यों हम लोग जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन जो लोग खाते हैं, तो वो भी वेजिटेरियन इस महीने में खाते हैं, क्योंकि जो मछली होते हैं उनका ब्रीडिंग सीजन होता है। अगर छोटे मछली को आप पकड़ के खा लेंगे तो उनका संसार कैसे बढ़ेगा? See, there's so much of things. So Diwali is such a wonderful. I think I also believe in that. इसमें अच्छी तरह से ड्रेस अप होना चाहिए, lit up करना चाहिए, एक दूसरे के घर पे एक दूसरे को बुलाना चाहिए, अच्छे फूड एक्सचेंजेस करना चाहिए, स्वीट्स बाहर से कम खरीदना चाहिए, खुद के स्वीट्स बनाओ, ड्राई फ्रूट्स दो एक दूसरे को, क्योंकि उसका खाना भी आजकल बंद हो गया है। These people are very fond of going outside and eating. Go outside and eat because those hotels also need to survive. But exchange pleasantries in a Diwali, more than the diya, I think your smile, your face, your personality, and your feeling towards the society will lit up somebody. This Diwali, I would also request people to take out something unnecessary from their house. Give it to the needy people on the street. I think each one of us, through these festivals, especially Diwali, we recycle a lot of things. We exchange a lot of pleasantries. We need to keep doing it. Our culture teaches us that. The faster our generation, I'm glad that you're so young and you are realizing you're reading. We need to read. We need to explore. We need to also bring in certain changes, which is a must going forward. Festivals should be fun. Festival should be fantastic. Festival, every member of the family should contribute a little. मेरे mother अभी भी 73 years old, she will prepare a rangoli at home. जो हम लोग झोटी बोलते हैं, जो बंगाली लोग उसको अल्पना बोलते हैं, जो चावल के उससे बनता है और वो उंगली से ऐसे ऐसे बनाती है. Just imagine. And they're more artistic. Nowadays, if you see, they don't know rangoli, they will get a रेडीमेड वन, वहां से लेके डाल देंगे और सीधा डाल देते हैं, वो पूरा रंगोली बन जाता है. That rangoli and this rangoli has a huge difference. Because here, every effort of yours is shown in that painting. Here, just it's a ready-made thing. You just come and do it. So, I'm glad that we have spoken on this topic of Diwali and how it contributes to our life. And really very happy that just before Diwali, we could think over this. And I hope everyone else who sees this, who looks into this particular podcast, will have a thought process.
They'll have a perspective,
They will understand. And this will be effective for sure. Why? Because this generation listens less, sees more.
Very true.
Before
That is being said, that is where I'll come down to this question where I wanted to ask that all these kinds of spirituality, mythology, everything that we have been deriving from our history, how does this affect in education? Like you coming from that background, you see kids roaming around every single minute of the day, where you see people talking, where you see people exchanging ideas, opinions. So how do you think that education system perceives through spirituality? Does it affect on the lines of where people are said that it is on this believing side, or is it something where are all these scriptures when it comes to education on the lines of physics or anything, be it biology, be it physics, be it chemistry, everything has been derived from those books itself. If we go back to all those granthas that we call, where every single thing has a scientific reason behind whatever we are doing right now, regardless of we believing that no, this is a Western culture information that we are getting it right now. Whereas India में पहले से ही all of these things have been written in scriptures. We are realizing it right now. So do you think kids at this generation are realizing that, or are they in the lines of following atheism where they are just thinking that all the spirituality and everything is very superficial, we don't want to get into all of that? So how do you even perceive when it comes to a kid coming and telling you that no sir, ये सब जो भी बात कर रहे हैं, all of this is very superficial. Stories वगैरह में it's very beautiful that we can think about it, imagine and then let it go. So how do you deal with this?
I think in education it is extremely important to have the spiritual angle. This will work at two levels. One, as the children are growing up, they need to be shown the right kind of thing. They need to be told the right stories. They need to be also spoken with the right kind of words. There are a lot of ordinary words being used. I'm not going to go into that.
Okay.
What I would rather say is that if you want your child to be calm, quiet, I would not say quiet, calm, composed, and very organized, he needs to be shown a lot of such things. Let me give an example of Panchatantra. Let me give an example of Margoli days. Let me give you something, tell me something about Tenali Rama, which I think I have seen and grown up. When I was studying, Ramayana used to be telecasted in the TV, and that was on a Sunday. I hardly got a chance to see because I used to go for NCC. It was telecasted on a Sunday. I used to go because I used to love watching. But that time ऐसा भी नहीं होता था कि इसको अभी तो ऐसा सिस्टम हो गया कि आप उसको कभी भी देख सकते हैं.
Like OTT platforms where you can rewind and watch it.
But उसमें भी रिकॉर्डिंग आते थे, हम देख पाते थे, उसका भी अलग है. So lot of parents who come to me to the school, they are in a catch-22 situation. They want their child to be modern. I do not know what is the definition of being modern. But at the same time, they want the child to be rooted. Both are fine. But how they will become rooted without knowing the roots? Correct. Poonam should enjoy everything in this world. What do you mean by everything? That everything
That's not good.
should also have a list of things.
Yes.
Right? That we have forgotten to note it down, what is that everything. We must enjoy everything in this world, not necessarily all the odd things. We had that purge accident case which happened in Pune, which has created so much of media hype. I would not blame the child or anybody, the school or anything. I would just say that probably the child has not realized what he needs to do at that particular age.
Yes.
Right? I will not blame the child who drops a hot water or burns his hand with a hot water or hot thing. I would rather say the people around him should have been more sensible to educate the child, not to. Like Maria Montessori says that do not tell about a concept before exposing the child to that particular concept. So before telling the water, expose the child to water. Before telling about fire, expose the child to the environment of fire. Let the child understand fire is something like hot. It's harmful, it's red in color, it just comes out in a splash.
Yeah.
Child has experienced all.
It comes back all to the point where we had discussed you get what you give.
Yes.
You need to understand how you are in the society, how you are as a human being, because at the end, you know that you're going with some good deeds, not the materialistic things that you can take with you.
You heard about that one charity begins at home.
Yeah.
I have put it today 2 words to you. It will be going like viral. Clarity begins at home. First you be clear about anything.
Yes.
Another thing, don't be limited to content. Please relate your content to the context. That will do a lot of wonders. So दिवाली क्यों सेलिब्रेट होता है, हम क्यों पढ़ते हैं, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्या काम करेगा, वो बहुत जरूरी है. हम पढ़ के बड़े किताबें बन जाते हैं, बुद्धिमान बन जाते हैं, उसको कहीं यूज नहीं करते, उसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. आपने जो पढ़ाई किया, जो भी अपने स्कूल में किया, जितना जल्दी आप उसको करेंगे अपने लाइफ में, उतना ज़्यादा वो रिटेन होगा, उतना ज़्यादा आप दूसरों को कॉन्फिडेंटली बता पाओगे. आई एम एबल टू स्पीक टू यू बिकॉज एवरी डे आई डू ऑल दैट. I have not done any road running, I have not come here. I'm speaking what I'm living. When you speak on what you do, then you don't have to think. So it's just your culture, it's your habit, it's something, your way of life.
So at this note, I would like to have an ending to this entire podcast. It was really great having you here, understanding your
Thank you.
perspective, understanding what you stand for, and what is the message that you want to give to the students and the viewers that are watching. So this Diwali, I would expect every single person to take your advice, give something to lit someone else's life, rather than bursting crackers or doing superficial things. So thank you so much, sir, for coming here and sharing your story, and it's really great having you.
It's my pleasure, Poonam, and wishing you happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Let's together lead up
For
someone's life. Let's make sure that people who are not having anything on Diwali lead up their life.
Yes.
Before we think about ourselves, let's give something to someone, somewhere, someone who can smile at us. Thank you. Thank you, Poonam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This Diwali, let's just not light our homes, but illuminate our minds and hearts. Wishing you and your family a very happy Diwali from Aakarsh Career Institute. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and keep following us for more such kind of videos. Thank you.